Hello friends, today's book is Brian Tracy book Eat That Frog 21 Great Ways to Stop Procrastinating and Get More Done in Less Time. I wish I had more time to finish this project. How will I fix the table before the in-laws visit? I can't possibly get all these things done. Sound familiar? Whether it's at home or at office, we are constantly pushed by an insane amount of things to do. When we do tackle them, we don't have the time to do them as well as they ought to be done. And so we get frustrated. Know the feeling. Fortunately, it won't take a life overhaul or major surgery to get more things done. You just have to be a bit more productive and perform at a higher level. That's what these summaries are about. Find out how to eat the frog or tackle the biggest, hardest, most important task first. While becoming more disciplined and focused, be the boss of your to-do list and discover more efficient you. Chapter 1. Every successful goal starts with a good plan. Let's start at the very beginning. You are swamped with work like running errands and going to meetings. You feel like you don't have any spare time. How do you get started when you have to tackle everything? Before you take any action, you have to define your goals. Clarity is an essential part of productivity. You can't work unless you know what you have to do. So, figure out what task matters the most. The first step is overcoming procrastination. It's a good idea to write your goals down instead of trying to sort them out in your head. Here is an important fact to remember. Only 3% of adults manage their time with written goals, and they accomplish 5 to 10 times more than other people. Even highly educated individuals are less productive than those who write down their goals. After you have outlined your goal, plan your time in advance. Break your goals down into a series of steps that you can deal with one after other. And use checklists. They help you visualize your goals. When you look back on the task you have completed, you will feel proud. You will also be more motivated to keep going. Did you know productivity improves by 25%? When you work from a list, you save a lot of time when you don't have to decide what to do. Finally, work even more efficiently by using the 80-20 rules, also called the Pareto principle. The 80-20 rule says that every list of 10 tasks should include 2 that are much more important than the others. Focus on those 2 most important. Most people mistakenly focus on easiest thing first, the 80%, and procrastinate the 20% that really matters. Chapter 2. Establish your priorities and focus on them. After you know what you want to do, focus on doing it efficiently. How? Well, you need to set your priorities. First, think about the consequences of your action. What do you want to achieve? People who envision how they will feel in the future are more likely to make the best everyday decision. Research has backed this up. In fact, a study from Harvard shows that having long-term goal is the highest indicator of social mobility. It's an even bigger indicator than education level or social background. The ABCDE method is a useful tool for helping you stick to your priorities. In the ABCDE method, you write a list of tasks, assign each of them a letter from A to E. The A items are the highest priority, while the E item can be skipped if you don't have time. And E task, for example, might be finishing view the behind the scene section of your Star Wars DVD, and a task could be editing your resume and applying for new jobs. When you are reviewing your to-do list, the A task, which are probably the most challenging, are your frogs. Eat those first. Accomplishing your A task first is the key to success. Don't stop until your work is done. Focus all your willpower on completing your goal. For example, imagine your highest priority Your frog is your application for a new job that requires a lot of work, like gathering your recommendation, refining your CV, combining through your network for any good connection. So concentrate until the task is done. If you start editing your CV and then lose yourself in Facebook, it will take twice as long and have more typos. Focus on the task at one hand. Chapter 3. The path to progress is all about self-exploration. Being productive is not just about good planning. It's a constant learning process. You have to keep adapting yourself as you learn the most effective way to execute your plans. There are few ways to do this. First, you need the right environment. Find a space where you can truly think for and be yourself. Then make sure it's clean. You will be more comfortable when it is. So wipe the dust off your desk. Next, see that everything you need is ready to go. Collect whatever is necessary for accomplishing your most important task. You can't start cooking if you don't have all the ingredients. Another key part of knowing yourself is understanding your own skills. Everyone has a special talent. Find yours, then maximize its potential. Your special skill might be something that makes you very valuable to others. You might be good at figures, foreign language, working with people, or holding up under pressure. Find your skills by asking yourself the right question. What's easy for you that's difficult for others? What has helped you to succeed? What's easy for you that's difficult for others? What has helped you to achieve what you already have in your life? Finally, never stop improving. You can always get better at what you do. Never stop learning either. Always try to refine your skill. You will prevent them from teetering and gain more confidence. Think about all the opportunities you have to keep learning. Do you know that the average driver spends 500 to 1000 hours on the road each year? Make use of this time by listening to audio programs. If you speak French but have not brushed up on it since your last trip abroad, this could be a good opportunity. Take advantage of the situation you are in. Set yourself on the path to self-improvement. Chapter 4. Perform best by staying optimistic and self-disciplined. There is no such thing as success without discipline and training. That might sound like something from a kung fu movie, but it's actually quite important. Your body is the engine of your success. Don't forget that. A machine functions better if it's maintained well. So take care of yourself. If you are physically, mentally energized, you will work much more efficiently. Don't exhaust yourself either. Did you know that your productivity starts to decline after 8 hours of continuous work? A human wears down just like a machine that's been running for too long. When you are well rested, you will be much more efficient. So get 8 hours of sleep every night. It's also important to figure out what time of day you are most productive. Most people work best in the morning after a good night's sleep. When do you feel the most creative and sharp? Ultimately, train yourself to be a self-motivating machine. Your thoughts have a big impact on your emotion. So become your own number one supporter. In fact, 90% of our emotion results from the way we talk to ourselves. Your thoughts create your reality. So strive for optimism. Find the good in every situation. Learn lessons from your setbacks and look for the solution to every problem. Positive thinking empowers you. It makes you more confident and creative. So remind yourself regularly of how great you are. Even if you don't believe yourself at first, you will start to eventually. You will also get better at handling challenging tasks. Another important part of your self-discipline is creating procrastination. Creating procrastination means consciously choosing which activity you can postpone or skip. Most people postpone their most important task. Efficient people, on the other hand, can deliberately procrastinate less valuable activities like watching TV. They set post priorities, the opposite of priorities. Post priorities are things that can be done later or even not at all. Acknowledged. what's holding you back, then overcome it. Planning for success is certainly easier than achieving it. As your journey progresses, you will encounter all sorts of obstacles you could not have predicted. How can you overcome them? First, figure out what's holding you back from realizing your goals. A number of things can limit you, like some people, personal weakness, or a lack of confidence. People, personal weakness, or a lack of resources. Nearly anything can hold you back if you let it, but be careful. It's tempting to blame the external world for your failure. People often get frustrated with their jobs or families when things get tough, thinking they are the root of the problem. So don't overlook your internal limiting factor too. In the beginning, you might lack the skill, experience, or ability you need to achieve your goal. It's easy to pinpoint the limiting factors you are not responsible for. But the most powerful forces that hold you back are your internal ones. At this point, it's okay to feel overwhelmed by everything you have to do to improve. So, focus on just one task at a time. You will progress more steadily this way. Tackle the first task first. Only then can you move on to the next. Fitness and strength training works the same way. You can't start off by squatting 200 pounds, but you work out every day and improve gradually. You will get stronger and stronger until you reach your goals. Set the bar high for yourself. Don't wait for other people, like your boss or your loved one, to push you towards what you want. Be your own source of motivation. Here is a trick to use. Imagine you just learned you are going on a surprise vacation tomorrow. What would you have to do before leaving? Those are the tasks you should take care of right away. Make a habit of this and you will find yourself eating the frog regularly. And if you can do that consistently, you will join the 2% of people who work without needing any supervision. They are called leaders. Chapter 6. Take control of your own time. There is one more key to being productive. You already know what it is. If you have ever felt like you didn't have enough time for all the important tasks you needed to do, it's time management. You can't split up every task, unfortunately. The biggest task often requires long stretches of unbroken attention. Consider a successful salesperson, for instance. They can't always be on the floor. They need to set a lot of time aside for calling clients and gathering feedback from them. It's useful to keep a clear map of the day in your mind. If you are struggling to schedule your time efficiently, start making appointments with yourself and stick to them. Breaking your day down into time slots can be helpful. The salesperson, for example, might schedule something like 9 to 12. Follow up with your prospects. You can also try dedicating your early morning hours to the work you can do by yourself, like handling emails. Save the other tasks for your afternoon in the busy office. And even though planning is essential, don't wait too long before you take action. You can only experience the mental state of flow when you are working consistently. Flow occurs when ideas come to you easily. You will be more creative and perform better and more easily when you are in your flow. You will enter a state of flow when you develop a sense of urgency about the task you need to perform. Don't just talk about it. Act now and get it done. Eat that frog and you will gradually gain an inner drive that pushes you beyond your current limit. Set yourself on the right path. Stay dedicated and you will reach your goal. So overall, in this book, we learned that you can defeat procrastination by figuring out who you are and what you want to achieve. Confront your limitation, plan your time, and eat your frogs. When you complete your most important tasks first, you will train yourself to stay on the road to success. Thank you so much.